Welcome to a Sober Shepherd's podcast. My name is David Weitz. You know, it's been a little while since I've spoken to this microphone. Not because I had nothing to say. Life just had louder assignments. And apparently in today's world, if you don't post for a couple of weeks, people start writing your obituary. If you're not posting, you must be failing. If you're not visible, something must be wrong. It's amazing how fast silence turns into a story. But here's the part nobody talks about. Some of the most important things in life happen off camera. Bills get paid off camera. Good parenting happens off camera. Anonymously serving our fellowship happens off camera. Character gets built off camera. Healing happens off camera. Real work happens off camera. Nobody's live streaming discipline. Nobody's going viral for doing the right thing quietly. And lately, I've been working with a new nonprofit trying to build something meaningful. Which, by the way, doesn't come with a post every 4 hours or you're irrelevant clause. I've been handling life. I've been honoring priorities. And I started realizing something. The world rewards what is seen. God often rewards what is unseen. And those two systems don't always agree. So if you've been doing the right thing and nobody's clapping, good, you're probably finally on the right track. Because that tension between what gets attention and what actually matters, that's what this whole thing is about. And it hit me the other day when I walked into a meeting I hadn't been to in quite a while. Now, before I tell you what happened, let me tell you something about me. I'm a routine guy. Wallet, same spot. Keys, same spot. Dog food, set the night before. I'm basically a human version of don't touch anything. I know where everything is. It's not obsession. It's structure. There's a difference. And if you're sober, you already know we didn't get better by being random. We got better by doing the same right things over and over again until they stuck. So yeah, routine can save your life. But here's the part nobody warns you about. Sometimes the things that save your life become the things that keep you stuck. Sometimes the medicine becomes the mattress. And now you're not growing. You're just comfortable. And God has a way of dealing with comfort. Sometimes it's a nudge. And sometimes it's a size 12 right up your ass. That's been my experience. He'll disturb it. He'll mess with the rhythm. He'll make what used to fit feel off. Because stagnant water looks calm. But give it a minute. It stinks. So I broke routine, walked into a meeting I hadn't been to in a long time. And I see someone I haven't seen in forever. Last time I saw her, she had red hair. It's silver now. Time kept moving like it always does. She jumps up, hugs me like she just found a life raft. You ever get hugged like that? Like somebody just grabbed onto you like, oh, thank God you're still here. That kind of hug. Then she pulls back, looks me dead in the face and says, oh my God, Dave, I thought you were dead. Dead? Did I miss something? Was there a service? Did I not show up at my own funeral? And I laughed because that's such a recovery moment. If people don't see you for a while, they don't think, oh, maybe he's working. Oh, maybe he's handling life. Oh, maybe he's just living. No. They jump right to, he's out there. He fell off. He's gone. We escalate fast. And it's not just recovery. It's everywhere. Stop posting, you failed. Get quiet, you collapsed. Take a breath, you disappeared. We've created this world where if you're not constantly visible, well, then you must be in trouble. Meanwhile, the truth is usually a lot simpler. Sometimes a man isn't lost. Sometimes he's just not performing. Sometimes he's being redirected. Sometimes God moves you before people understand why. And sometimes before you understand why. And that's where this whole thing opens up. Learning to recognize what things actually are in your life. Not everything is forever. Not everything is permanent. Not everything deserves your full emotional investment. Some things are just reasons, seasons, and lifetimes. And the sooner you understand that, the less confused you'll be. Because what people usually don't see is the boring truth. And I'll tell you something, the boring truth is usually the holy truth. I haven't been missing because I was out destroying myself. I've been missing because I've been maintaining myself, which, by the way, is a lot harder and way less exciting. Nobody throws confetti for paying your bills. Nobody's like, wow, look at him handling responsibility again. Incredible content. No, because stability doesn't trend. Chaos does. Lose your mind? Viral. Act crazy? Engagement. Fall apart publicly? Congratulations, you're relevant. But discipline, consistency, doing the right thing quietly, that happens backstage. No audience, no applause, Just you and your choices. And social media will mess with your head if you're not careful. It'll have you thinking the person posting 12 times a day is winning, while the guy actually building a life feels like he's falling behind. That's insane. That's like judging a restaurant by the sign without ever tasting the food. Some people got neon lights and an empty kitchen. Other people got no sign at all, and they're feeding everybody inside. And we're out here trying to decide who's successful. These platforms are like slot machines. Pull the lever, post again, check again, refresh again. Maybe you win, maybe you don't. Meanwhile, real life is knocking like, hey, you done gambling in there? Family, bills, health, recovery. God might be trying to talk to you, and you're too busy checking analytics. Now, don't get it twisted. I use platforms. You're listening to this podcast on one, but I don't serve them. Because anything that demands first place in my life without loving me back is an idol, and I've already had enough of those. That's why this idea of reasons, seasons, and lifetimes matters so much to me right now. Because I've lived long enough to know not everything comes into your life with the same expiration date. Some people are a reason. They show up, drop a lesson in your life, and disappear. Sometimes they teach you love. Sometimes they teach you pain. Sometimes they teach you boundaries. And sometimes they teach you exactly what you'll never tolerate again. And here's the kicker. You might only know them 6 months and remember them for 30 years because impact and time are not the same. Then you've got seasons, people who walk you through a chapter, early recovery, raising kids, a job, a rough year, a healing process. They fit that version of you. Then life turns the page and we get confused. We think something went wrong. No, the season just changed. Leaves fall. That's what they do. And then you've got lifetimes. Rare people. The ones where years can pass. Silence can happen. Distance can happen. And when you reconnect, it's like nothing broke. No resentment. No integration. No emotional invoice waiting for you. Just connection. Those people are gold. And most of our suffering comes from trying to force everything into that category. We want seasonal people to act like lifetimes. We want temporary roles to become permanent fixtures. It's like getting mad at a rental car because it didn't stay in your driveway. Some people were transportation, not destination. And that's okay, because once you accept that, you stop taking everything so personally. And that brings me to what this season has been teaching me. Order. Not everything good belongs first. Not everything I love deserves priority over what I need. That's grown man math. Because I love creating. I love speaking. I love building sober shepherds. But if I neglect my real life to maintain a digital presence, I become a hypocrite. And I've seen what happens when amusement outranks responsibilities. Real life walks in exhausted. And fantasy is sitting on the couch in its underwear making content. And people wonder why relationships fall apart. A toy becomes dangerous when it gets first place. The problem isn't the thing. It's the order. So maybe this season isn't punishment. Maybe it's alignment. Maybe God isn't taking things from me. Maybe he's putting things in order. And maybe what feels like delay is actually design. Because peace doesn't always look exciting. Sometimes it looks like a paid bill, a clear conscience, a sober night, a quiet house, a dog asleep at your feet. That kind of wealth doesn't trend, but it saves lives. And people always ask me, Dave, what's your favorite Beatles album? And I can never answer it because they're all different. Different moods, different seasons, different versions of life. And somehow they're all my favorite. Depends when you ask me. And life is the same way. You don't need one answer. You need understanding, reasons, seasons, lifetimes. Learn the difference. And you stop grieving every change like it's a tragedy. Some endings are exits. Some are graduations. Some are God making room. And the ones meant for you, they'll still be music when the needle drops again. And before I go, let me say this clearly. Yeah, I haven't been posting much. Yeah, I've been quiet. And no, I'm not about to start posting 15 times a day to stay relevant. That's not happening because I'm not putting an algorithm before my life. I'm not putting likes before my responsibilities. I'm not putting attention before alignment. Because what kind of message would that be? Build a better life, but ignore your own while you're doing it? No. If you follow me for the truth. And if I go quiet, don't assume I'm lost. Assume I'm living it. Because I'm not trying to win. I'm trying to help save something. And the first thing I hope gets saved is the relationship you have with yourself. Because if you fix that, everything else starts to fall into place. And if I'm quiet sometimes, just know I'm somewhere choosing the lifetime things first.